We had some technical difficulties, but I'm a cheap ass streamer, so this is gonna be a two-part video now. Yeah, it was good. So I guess my first one was kind of breaking down, how I feel about what us as gamers need to do nowadays. To like really put the pressure on people to act with a sense of morality. Like I don't care if you're a moral person outside of your job, but I mean, I personally do care if you're a moral person outside of your job. It dictates how like my interactions with people go all the time, just off the perception. I know it's like hypocritical, but that's that's a separate joint. But if we don't have any direct or indirect contact, I mean, if we don't have any close proximity contact, I don't give a fuck how you act outside of your job, because chances are that shit will not come back to haunt me. I hope. I hope you're not like a serial killer or some shit who's like, oh, I just like testing niggas. But like, if I receive a product from your job and I know you're an immoral person, like I'm probably not gonna want that product. Like, that's how I really look at it. That's not even me being a Buddhist. For y'all that know me personally, y'all really know what that's about though. But real shit, like I don't want to buy your game, especially if it's attached to a publisher I know is shitty, or if you're a developer and like you're on that bungee train now. Like I'm not buying shit from you. Like there's one little piece of money that EA will definitely get out of me though, and I can be real about that. I've come to love Titanfall 2 in the same way I have Modern Warfare 2, and it's actually driven me to go back and play Modern Warfare 2, which I'm falling in love with again. It's a great game. What can I say? But Titanfall 3 will be the last money that I give to a fucking immoral developer, and I swear to God on that shit. Like, let Ubisoft start fucking up for real or some shit. I'm gonna sell Siege, or I'm just gonna stop playing it altogether. If I had Battlefront and that bitch was digital, then I just wasted $60 because I wouldn't touch the game unless I was like drunk or some shit. And it's crazy because honestly, if people don't start taking, if people don't start realizing how they represent the game actually matters as much as how the publishers and developers represent the game, then we're not going to get nowhere with this situation. PUBG was a fucking game that was early access with hella bugs, then hit 1.0 on console and still had bugs, yet still has 3 million concurrent players. Could you imagine if EA had to deal with the Battlefront controversy and Battlefront had bugs like that? No one would play the game. No one would play the game. Like, literally, like, that shit would be dead. Honestly, fucking a great example, Ubisoft has been through this exact same situation just without an early access game. Look at Assassin's Creed fucking Unity, was it? Yeah, Unity. I was working at GameStop at the time, and I cannot tell you how many fucking returns we had, literally from people not being able to progress past a certain point. Like, mostly just corrupted save files, and of course you just want to tell the nigga at the end of the day, start over. But you can't, because not everybody's trying to hear that shit. Which is, honestly, that's the same way y'all need to be handling these developers and publishers. Y'all need to not be trying to hear these apologies. You need to be looking for, like, some reimbursement, real talk. But who does that? Let me get back to my game, however. But yeah, bro, like if we don't start realizing that the way that we represent the game influences who buys it and how much money these people make, and just the media press in general, because let's be real, once the company drops the game, they aren't looking at the next few months. They already looked at that shit. They're looking at the next DLC cycle. They're looking at the next round of advertisement. They've already probably paid for the first round of advertisements. They're looking at esports leagues nowadays, mobile counterparts, possible microtransactions if they don't start with microtransactions. And I can tell you there's going to be a game that introduces a currency. Watch people hate that shit. Just saying, man. Like, honestly, like, the way we look at these things and the way that we like the amount of actual conviction that we put into getting this shit out of the air and into the open is going to make such a difference. I mean, because you can say this is bad all day. You can point out why it's bad all day. But at the end of the day, if people don't feel affected by it or they don't relate to it, they won't give a fuck and they will just look at you like a madman. And when it comes to video games, you got to remember, it is a little bit more mainstream now, but shit, 07, 06, 05, 04, like, you could be looked at like a fucking serial killer if you stayed in all day and played video games. And people are just now getting over that stigma. I mean, mostly thanks to Call of Duty, but I'll have a whole video about why I love and hate Call of Duty. But that's gonna come within the next few months, bro. All I can do is truly, like, thank Call of Duty for bringing video games to at least some form of mainstream awareness. Because just think about it. If, like, Modern Warfare didn't go as big, if World War II and Modern Warfare didn't go as big as they actually did, I'm not talking about the new World War II. I'm talking about old COD World War II, you feel me? Like, I don't think video games would have nearly had as much presence as they do in media now. Like, you saw, first of all, you saw legislators talking about the EA loot box controversy, which is crazy, but you also just saw local media outlets. That shit was wild. It was, if I'm being real, like what I was actually thinking, it feels good to see somebody that doesn't pick up the controller actually care. Because normally it's those people who have more influence on how these developers and publishers are going to act. Simply put, let's say somebody actually got away with suing Ubisoft for fucking false advertising because they only saw the E3 trailer of Siege and then they fucking bought Siege. You really think game companies would be pulling half the shit they pull right now? That's the reason EA's been trying to kiss ass. I don't think it's because they care about what we think. I think it's because they don't want legislators to start putting real bans on this to the point where they can't do what they want. Then they have to deal with what we want if they want to make any money, which is honestly as simple as putting out a good quality game. But hey, I guess when you're slated to make annual releases and you want your developers to actually, have free time, which is something that people definitely talked about not having in the industry, then hey, maybe, I don't know. I'm just taking guesses at this point about why the games come out so shitty, but who knows? But last time I checked, like when I was personally thinking about programming in the game industry, this was when I was in high school, no real programming experience. So don't look for no evidence that I was like a game programmer because you're not going to find none. I didn't fucking do anything. But like, the number one complaint I heard was that niggas had no free time, bro. Like, people were there. If you wanted to put out a good game, like, you had to be there. And even from Death Stranding, like, Sony talking about how they've never seen a game made this fast, in which it looks very, very good. That's all I'm gonna say. You watch the trailer, bro. Wait. Pow, y'all know what it is. But, yeah, that was a spider. I don't like the motherfuckers. But yeah, bro. Like, seriously. All I can say for the second part of this is that we have to hold ourselves accountable more than anything. At least now. Because we have no idea how publishers are going to react. Bungie seemed like a good guy back when Destiny 1 came out. Now Destiny 2 dropped and it's like they could care less.